Ever feel like you're doing all the right things and still wondering why your body feels off? You eat well, you train hard, your labs say you're fine, but deep down you know something's slipping. You're not alone and you're not crazy. I'm Daniel Rasmussen, founder of Echelon Center for Longevity, and I've spent 2 decades helping high performers like you to reverse aging, reignite vitality, and finally get answers. On Unbreakable Vitality, we go upstream. We talk peptides, stem cells, precision diagnostic testing, reversing the age of your arteries, all the innovative science-based tools to take back your health span so that your next decades are your best yet. Because aging is real, but decline is optional.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Imagine a compound so small it's measured in amino acids, but powerful enough to accelerate healing, reverse inflammation, boost energy, and repair tissue without side effects, without overstimulation, and without burning out your system. That's not science fiction, that's a peptide therapy. Peptides are one of the most exciting tools in regenerative and longevity medicine today. And they're already changing the game for high performance individuals looking to stay younger, longer. They're not hormones. They're not drugs. They're not steroids. They're signals designed to tell your body exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it better. So in today's episode of Unbreakable Vitality, I'll walk you through what peptides actually are and what they aren't, how they work inside your body, and why we use them clinically at the Echelon Center for everything from gut repair and mitochondria rejuvenation to vascular age reversal and neuroprotection. So let's break it down so that you can decide if peptides belong in your longevity protocol. Let's get started at least with the basics. So what are peptides? Well, they are short chains of amino acids, typically 2 to 50 in length. They act as messenger molecules in the body. They're not new. Your body has been using peptides since the moment you were born. In fact, many of the most essential functions in the human body, from hormone signaling to immune modulation to tissue repair, it is all driven by peptides. Some peptides you've probably already heard of. Insulin. Yes, insulin is a peptide. Glucagon, also a peptide. Oxytocin, peptide. That's the bonding hormone. So why are we talking about them now? In the context of regenerative medicine? Well, that's because thanks to advancements in biotechnology, we can now isolate, synthesize, and administer peptides that specifically target repair, rejuvenation, and cellular performance. Think of them as the ultimate biohack tool. And unlike many pharmaceuticals, which often work by force and have side effects, they suppress symptoms or they block pathways, pharmaceuticals do. Peptides work more like whispers or nudges. They remind your body of its own natural intelligence. They reinforce healthy signaling at the cellular and mitochondrial level. Here's how they're different from hormones. Hormones act globally, while peptides act locally and very specifically. Hormones can override other systems, causing biofeedback loops, chain reactions, while peptides tend to restore balance. Hormones often require cycling or titration, while peptides can be episodic, regenerative, and safer in most cases, if not all. Also, as we age, our endogenous or internal production of peptides declines with age. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So part of the aging process isn't just wear and tear, it's the gradual loss of internal signaling of peptides. So that's what peptide therapy aims to restore, those communication lines that your body needs to regenerate. So how do peptides do this exactly? We're going to talk about that next, and which ones we use most often in our clinical programs for gut, brain, immune, and vascular optimization. So glad you're sticking around because you're going to really like this. So let's go a little deeper. Peptides are like the biological software that tells your cells how to behave. And they don't force a change. They just initiate one. And that's what makes them so powerful. When a peptide binds to a specific receptor on a cell membrane, it sends a very precise instruction, like heal this tissue, modulate this immune response, or increase mitochondrial output here. This is different from drugs, which often hit multiple receptors all at once, and they cause lots of side effects as a result. So peptides are receptor specific. Think of them like a little lock and key fit into the receptor, meaning they work where they're supposed to with minimal collateral impact and zero toxicity. Let's walk through a few of the commonly used peptides in regenerative medicine. BPC 157. May or may not have heard of this, but probably the most well-known. It's derived from gastric juice. BPC 157 is known for its ability to heal leaky gut, repair joints, ligaments, and tendons. They support angiogenesis, which is the creation of new micro blood vessels. They reduce BPC 157 reduces inflammation in the GI tract and the brain. Another one of my favorites is thymosin alpha 1, TA1 for short, a powerful immune modulating peptide. It's used for enhancing T cell activity, reducing chronic infections, modulating overactive autoimmune responses, supporting cancer recovery protocols. I have used thymosin alpha 1 for my own autoimmune condition. And, several years ago, it's been about 10 years now, I was struggling with cystic acne rosacea all over my skin. It was starting to just ramp up and get worse and worse. And I've got autoimmune conditions in my family. And my dad had rheumatoid arthritis. My younger sister had struggled with rheumatoid arthritis and ankylosing spondylitis. I thought I had slid under the radar with the autoimmune illness or condition, but it started showing up. I'll tell you what, going through the GI map, finding that I had leaky gut, that was a blow to my self-confidence because I thought there's no way it could be happening to me. I live a clean lifestyle, but it happens to the best of us. So put myself through our own protocols. But I'll tell you what, after 3 months on thymosin alpha 1, not only did my rosacea and acne start clearing up, my skin got better. And the results you can see now, there's no real trace of it at all left. I've got amazing skin now. But also I had a tenacious plantar wart that was multiplying and spreading. And I'd been battling that for 2 years. And after 3 months on thymosin alpha 1, totally unintended side benefit. That's the key. With peptides, you get side benefits instead of side effects, as with pharmaceuticals. So the side benefit, unintended, I didn't know this was going to happen. That plantar wart vanished. And I didn't even realize it until I was walking. And one day I just realized my foot is not hurting when I roll on the ball of my foot anymore. I looked at the bottom of my foot, the wart was gone. I had gone to such a degree that I had a surgeon friend of mine who is an oculoplastic surgeon. I said, Alex, can you just do a little home surgery here and just excise this plantar wart out of my foot? Let's just try cutting it. This is way before I got on the thymosin alpha 1. And he numbed it up and he did the whole clean field. He's like, yeah, sure, come over to my house. And he has all the supplies. So we did a little mini surgery right in his condo here in Seattle. And man, that was painful. It came right back. After the skin closed up and healed, the wart started coming right back within a month or so after that. So it was about 2 years of battling that. Plantar warts, they're a type of virus, a dysregulated immune system, especially if you've got immunocompromise, immunodeficiency, or autoimmune condition. Your immune system isn't keeping things in check. So things like that tend to come out of the woodwork and start to manifest. So thymosin alpha 1, I can't speak enough highly about how powerful this peptide is for immune modulation. So another peptide that's one of my favorites is the growth hormone secretagogues. It's a weird name. Yeah, secretagogue means something that causes secretion, a compound. This peptide is called CJC-1295, ipamorelin, and sermorelin. So this is a stack that our pharmacy compounds and formulates for us and our patients. So these are growth hormone secretagogues. What they're basically doing, they promote increased growth hormone release of your own growth hormone. So it's not a hormone replacement. It's a signal, like we said, a very specific signal that turns on the pituitary gland to make more growth hormone, your human growth hormone. And now, what does human growth hormone release do? It improves your body composition, your muscle gain, your fat loss. You have deeper sleep and faster recovery. You have more collagen and bone density support. Incredible. Anti-aging right there. The fourth peptide that we're going to talk about is MOTS-C, MOTS-C. This is a mitochondrial-derived peptide and has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, so reducing insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes. It increases your endurance. I call MOTS-C exercise in a bottle because it's mimicking exercise in your body. Now, it's not a replacement, it's an enhancement. It activates AMPK, which is a longevity-associated metabolic switch in the cell. It supports weight loss and mitochondrial biogenesis, meaning multiplication of mitochondria, which it equates long-term to way more vitality and energy. Number 5, Echelon is known for its role in telomere elongation and longevity. Research suggests it may extend lifespan in animal models by up to 50%. It improves melatonin production. So this is one of the peptides we use to reset the circadian rhythm and get those hormones, melatonin and cortisol rhythms re-regulated. It enhances cellular repair at a deep level. So each peptide has a different role. Some repair tissue, some enhance cognition, some reprogram metabolism. The beauty lies in precision, being able to select exactly what your body needs to regenerate based on blood labs and GI map and our longevity blood panel. So when we layer these into a larger protocol supported by functional lab diagnostics, imaging, and lifestyle architecture, we're not just patching up the body, we're complete rebooting. In the next minute or so, we're going to walk you through how we use these in real clinical practice. Now, keep in mind that these peptides that I just mentioned are 5 of 150, and now maybe coming on 300 different types of peptides that are being formulated for different specific targeted uses like this. So from the results that we've seen in real people, just like you, it's been phenomenal. It's a game changer. If there was a magic bullet, I'd say the peptides were a magic bullet. They are not a standalone treatment. They work in conjunction of a larger process to 3 to 5x your recovery and healing and reboot of your system and your health and age reversal. So what does this look like in real life? Let's start with the one most common applications. That's gut healing. So leaky gut or intestinal hyperpermeability. Many of our patients come in with signs of leaky gut, food sensitivities, food intolerances. They've lost their oral tolerance, allergies, bloating, brain fog, skin issues, exposure to mold. Even when they're eating clean, they've got these symptoms. We run GI map testing. We often find microbial imbalances, inflammation, low mucosal immunity, and that's where BPC 157 shines. We've seen patients with persistent IBS, post-infectious dysbiosis, and autoimmune gastrointestinal symptoms improve dramatically within weeks of BPC 157 therapy, paired with gut rebuilding protocols and food intolerance testing. Another major use case is vascular age reversal. We combine peptides like CJC1295 stacked with ipamorelin and sermorelin, the fast-acting and the long-acting peptides, growth hormones, secretagogues. And then we combine that with nitric oxide support and endothelial restoration nutrients like arterosil and vitamin K2 to help restore blood flow, decrease arterial stiffness, and support plaque stabilization and reduction. One client, a 58-year-old male with elevated vascular age on the heart threat scan, reduced his CIMT, the carotid intermediate thickness, by 18% in 9 months using this protocol. And alongside ozone IV therapy, hormone balancing optimization, and lifestyle architecture, he got those results and he's hanging on to them for the next decades of his life. They're going to be the best yet. Then there's mitochondrial optimization. Clients dealing with low energy, slow recovery, or brain fog often have underperforming mitochondria. Enter MOTS-C, a mitochondrial-derived peptide that supports cellular energy and glucose regulation and metabolic resiliency. When paired with exercise, mimetics, and mitochondrial stacks like PQQ, CoQ10, NAD precursors. We've seen improvements in VO2 max, heart rate variability, and the true age scores as little as 90 days in many cases. Cognitive support is another major area. We use peptides like dihexa when it's clinically appropriate to support neurogenesis and repair of the brain, especially in high stress individuals with memory decline, sleep disruption, or burnout. And we can't ignore the immune system. Peptides like the thymosin alpha 1 and LL37 are part of our viral resilience and autoimmune calming protocols. These peptides help regulate the T cells, reduce chronic viral loads, and stabilize overactive immune response. What's key here is not just the peptide, it's how we stack and sequence them in the proper order at the proper time, the proper treatment for the proper condition, and with lab data to guide the intervention. So we're not guessing. There's no guessing here. It's clear cut and it's designed with precision. Combine that with lifestyle architecture to support recovery windows, and then with retesting down the road to measure those outcomes so that we can verify. Trust but verify. So from improved gut motility, improved gut integrity to stabilized plaque, deeper sleep, stronger immunity, and sharper cognitive performance. These aren't just chances. These aren't flukes. They're at the outcomes of targeted lab-guided regenerative strategy. They're not theoretical. They're not fringe. These are real people, real data, and real results. Peptides are powerful, but they're not all created equal. And not all are safe. As with any rapidly growing field, the explosion of interest in peptide therapy has led to a flood of online sources, compounding labs, experimental peptide labs, many from China, and even black market sellers pushing low quality or improperly formulated products. I can't stress how important it is to stay away from these sources and go toward established, compliant compounding pharmacies within the US. This is where things can go wrong and where being under the care of a clinically trained provider makes all the difference, and it matters. At the Echelon Center, we source all our peptides from FDA registered 503B compounding pharmacies. So this ensures that we've got proper purity and potency, no hidden fillers or synthetic binders, accurate dosing with third-party testing, and we never recommend purchasing peptides off random websites, Telegram groups especially, or unlicensed vendors. That's a recipe for contamination, underdosing, or worse, biological risk. Your health is not worth it. Safety is also about timing and layering. For example, CJC 1295 and ipamorelin should be used at nighttime, timed with your natural growth hormone pulses. Thymosin alpha 1 should be paused during an acute immune activation, not started. BPC 157 should be cycled with gut protocols for optimal repair, not as a standalone. This is why we build peptides into clinical stacks, not solo one-off magic bullet interventions. Each protocol is customized based on your lab testing, looking at your hormones, your immune panels, your mitochondrial markers, gastrointestinal function, and then the goals, looking at your goals, recovery, longevity, body composition, cognitive support. We want to know what your goals are, where you want to end up. Risk stratification. Do you have autoimmunity? Do you have vascular calcification, metabolic strain? We also integrate peptides into the broader Echelon lifestyle architecture, meaning the success of the peptide is magnified by the foundation. Nutrient status is critical, hormone rhythm, mitochondrial flexibility, sleep and recovery, and then we track those outcomes. We don't guess. We monitor vascular changes via the heart threat scan, and we track true age lab results and shifts. We also run biomarker panels every 90 to 120 days to assess the real changes, to see where it's moving the needle. And this is what separates therapy from biohacking hype, right? It's not about doing what's trending. It's about building precision protocols that evolve with your biology step by step, piece by piece. So we are standing at the edge of a massive shift in medicine in the United States, one where precision, personalization, and performance aren't reserved for the elite athletes or Silicon Valley execs anymore, or the Hollywood celebrities, but They are becoming the standard for anyone who wants to take ownership of their aging process. Peptides, they're going to be a core part of that shift. Right now, we're using them for repair and optimization, but that's just the beginning. That's the tip of the iceberg. The next generation of peptide science is focusing on organ-specific peptides like bioregulators that communicate directly with your heart, your cardiac tissue, your brain, your liver, your immune tissues, your gonads, your testicles, your ovaries. The next layer is going to be gene-regulating peptides that influence epigenetic expression. This is exciting. They'll also be layering things such as senolytic peptides that help clear out damaged senescent cells linked to aging and inflammation, what we call inflammaging. So then we got AI designed peptides coming down the road, built to mimic naturally occurring repair signals or block pathological ones. Imagine a future where you could run a panel of diagnostics, your provider matches you with a custom peptide stack that changes as your biology evolves, where you no longer wait for symptoms to appear. You preemptively optimize the systems that control them, where peptides are delivered through targeted patches, topical patches, oral sprays, or even light activated gels. At Echelon, we're already building infrastructure to support this future. We see where we're headed, and it is clear we want to be a leader and an innovator in this field. Curated peptide stacks based on true age shifts and vascular risk, protocols that rotate quarterly based on seasonal needs, integration with mitochondria, hormone, gut, and neurological testing. But what excites me most isn't just the tech, it's the mindset of this. Because when people see what's possible, when they feel younger, they move better, and they get the lab results that prove it, they stop asking, what's wrong with me? They start asking, what else can I improve? What else can we work on? What else can we optimize? That's when the game changes. Peptides aren't magic. They're not an end-all, be-all. But in the right hands, in the right diagnostics, and the right system, they are one of the most powerful, intelligent, and evolution-ready tools we have to age in reverse. And the best part, this isn't a decade away. It's already here, right now, at the Echelon Center. If your body's signaling systems are breaking down, no supplement stack or workout plan can fix the root issue, right? Think about that. That's where peptides come in, but only when personalized to your biology. It's the first step to uncovering where your cellular communication may be disrupted by doing those diagnostics, knowing which regenerative pathways you can unlock with data, with testing, with diagnostics. Because aging isn't a countdown, it's a code, and peptides help you rewrite it. In our next episode of Unbreakable Vitality, we're pulling back the curtain on the longevity industry itself. We'll expose the most overhyped and underperforming tools, therapies, and trends, and spotlight what's actually working for high-performance, data-driven clients. It's going to be controversial, it's going to be clarifying, and it might just save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and years of trial and error. See you there.
If you're feeling like your energy, your edge, or your clarity just isn't what it used to be, you're not alone. But you're also not stuck. Every week on Unbreakable Vitality, we explore real strategies to reverse aging, reclaim vitality, and rewrite what's possible. If today's episode gave you even one insight, pass it on. Then go take the free vascular age quiz at echelon-longevity.com/quiz to see how your body's aging. Subscribe, leave a review, and follow us because your future isn't on autopilot. You are building it and you're just getting started.